Hello, YouTube. Sharing this to my Facebook. Where is the option? Huh, really? Share. Oh, fuck it. Share. Facebook Messenger. What the fuck is your problem? Right there, Facebook. Okay. All right, hello Instagram, hello YouTube, Uncle Birch coming to you live. Arcane Magic Shop's in there. Hello Bandito, Calhag. I so rarely go live on Instagram. I'm glad you jumped on, but I'm live on YouTube at Uncle Birch and Instagram at Uncle Birch 3, because Uncle Birch 3 on TikTok's in fucking TikTok jail. I swear. I am institutionalized. I just cannot stay out of fucking TikTok jail. Whatever. TikTok is one fucking place. I'm all over the place. If I had a third phone, I'd go live somewhere else. Hello, that 420 witch. How are you? How are you? See YouTube. We got Carol. Hello. That's everything. Hello, Leslie. Hello, Power of the Occult. What did I do this time? Okay, well, this guy said on somebody else's post that if you had $70,000, he'd take everyone to Sizzler. I went, ew. EW, exclamation point, is apparently bullying and a violation of community standards. I stand by my statement. Sizzler? Sizzler was a night out when I was poor, I guess, once upon a time. I can't imagine ever fucking going there. You know, I'd go and get like the all-you-can-eat shrimp and shit. And then this little square of steak. And then a little baked potato. Sizzler. 70 grand, man. I'm taking you all out for drinks. Shit. That's all I said. But, you know, I'm sure I had. Well, that's the thing. I've had several community guidelines violations on that page, and I won all of my appeals. But TikTok's still fucked up. It's badly written programming, and it's bad coding. You should not still have a community guidelines violation strike if you won your appeal regarding community guidelines violations. It's fucking stupid. I'm in TikTok drama too. Really, I missed that. Who are you in drama with now? There, Power of the Occult. You didn't pop up on my following page today, so I figured it was a slow day for you. And over here on Instagram, still got a small account. Getting Twitter notifications on both phones from some fool I don't even know. But be sure, you know, follow if you're not following on Instagram. And I don't know how you even know I am on if you're not following. Let's see. Ooh, I should put it on. I should tag TikTok. Facebook friends. Let's see. Unable to start a conversation. With a business account, you can only chat with people on Facebook once you've started a conversation. I have a business account on Instagram. Shit, who fucking knew? Let's see. Let's tag some of these people. Oh, there's my daughter. Tag her. What the fuck? Ooh, not gonna tag that crazy chick. Oh no. How do you even show up on there, man? Stay away. Official Witchfoot. Alright, let's see. I'm over here on Instagram just tagging people, trying to get more people in there to the live, because what's the point? Let's tag all these fucking people. Could we just give me a select all? Fucking do some smart coding. Jesus Christ. Raven Crow. Him in there. Spirit Witch. Hoodoo Mama. Hex Witch Nola. Yeah, I know them. Wild Photography New Orleans. Okay, well, should probably tag them. And let's see. Oh, there's Damon Fain. I'll tag him over here, even though he's over there on YouTube watching. John St. Germain. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Oh, I can only tag 50 people. Oh, whatever. Well, there we go. So I'm coming to you on two separate devices, coming to you live from New Orleans. I said God's, oh, spouting. Is that, I see that thing come up. What you do, God's spouting like it's shown on TikTok isn't a thing. Like when they say they're married demons. Yeah, these people marrying God over on TikTok. I don't fucking, you know, I came to TikTok because on Facebook I heard that there was people on TikTok hexing the Fae and the Moon, and I had to see that shit show for myself. Never saw those people. I think it's an urban legend. I don't even think it ever really happened. Hello, Raven Crow Tarot. Hoodoo Mama, Ambitious. Hello, Maiden, Mother, Apothecary. Ambitious. TikTok is a shit show. You're right. Yeah, so I'm in, now my latest stint in TikTok jail was because some dude said when he wins his $70,000, he's going to take everybody to Sizzler. I commented, "Ew," EW exclamation point. Um, that was harassment and bullying. I appealed, and they still said it was a violation of community standards. So some days I don't even know why I tolerate TikTok. If there wasn't decent people out there worthy of real witchcraft teachings, I'd have fucking bailed on y'all a long fucking time ago. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. I don't fucking need TikTok. But I gotta say, my current account on TikTok's a little over 5 grand followers, and the amount of views that I get and the amount of traffic that I get from 5,000 followers is pretty damn similar to when I had 65,000 followers. So I think your follower count on TikTok means little to fucking nothing. If I have the same amount of traffic, I check the analytics too. Pretty much the same amount of traffic that I had at 65,000 followers that I have at 5,000 followers. Don't get too excited about that number if you get really high in TikTok. I was very excited. I was trending and shit. It didn't fucking matter. Love that t-shirt, it's amazing. Oh, thank you. I don't even know what a sizzle what a sizzle is. It's a very cheap steak joint where you can get all you can eat shrimp. I don't even know what they have anymore. I haven't seen a sizzler in forever. Hexing the moon. I thought people were just joking about that. I I don't know if that was ever actually a thing. I ended up on TikTok because of that. I never found that, and then I started finding a whole bunch of baby witches being taught really stupid shit, and decided to throw my hat in the ring. It's an anarchist thing. We always say, if you don't like the situation, change it. Take personal responsibility. Yeah, I know the Republicans stole that idea, but way before the Republicans used it, it was the hallmark of the anarchists: personal responsibility. Do something about it. If you're not going to do something about it, quit bitching, because nobody wants to hear anybody bitch all fucking day about it. I could have just sit there and bitched and whined about all the fucking ignorance on fucking TikTok, but no, threw my hat in the ring. Your numbers mean nothing on TikTok. It's all about views. Yep, yep. Making a sour jar. When making a sour jar, adding herbs. Rosemary is the norm for good memories of a sour jar. Uh, I would not use rosemary in a sour jar. A sour jar, you're hexing somebody, pretty much. Rosemary removes hexes. So it's like, if I ever feel anything going on, I'm going right to the rosemary and the rue, and I'm rubbing all that shit all over me. And I personally am going to take some internally, and I'm not making any medical suggestions for you. I would not use rosemary in a sour jar. You need to use nasty sour things. Just for example. Okay. Oh, just an example. Okay. Yeah, no, I would not use rosemary. I was trying to help somebody. Ooh, why would you go to a cheap steakhouse? Gross. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember I used to go there back in the
I
day.
used to go there
You
when I
know,
was younger.
yeah, a long time ago, and I get the all-you-can-eat shrimp, and it comes with a little fucking baked potato. One time there was fucking um, cockroaches in the fucking foil for the fucking potato. So I got a free meal that day. And you get a little square steak about yay big. We call it a steakhouse, Sizzler Steakhouse. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably an option for getting a whole fucking steak, but hyssop and basil are always good for, are also good for curses. Yeah, I mean everything has a dual purpose. I just don't know of a dual purpose for rosemary for that. But usually, they, everything that does a thing can do the opposite thing in the right conditions. So, with the right conditions, sure. Hello, Wade. Um, What's your opinion on workings during the eclipse this weekend? Good for baneful work. Absolutely. See, that's what people don't fucking understand. Anything you need to do that's sneaky, skulky, lurking in the darkness, you don't want people to know what you're doing, that's your eclipse work. Um, there's never an astrological time to not do a thing. There's what you're going to do, and there's the astrological conditions that you may or may not have to overcome when doing the thing. But you know, retrograde's not going to stop me. Void of course not going to stop me. I always thought void of course is really stupid. You know, you've got 12 zodiacal signs that the moon moves through, and when it leaves one going to the other one, there's a certain stage in that they call void of course. But if it's on the path to the other sign, that's a course. People don't think; they just say stuff. Wait a minute, why did I just can't read? Oh, I can't scroll up. Same, I do that. Always different cleansing stuff depending on the mood and energy. Not a witch though, I'm a shaman and a psychic that does witchy stuff. Okay. Hey, Magenta One, how are you? Um, get rid of. Okay, I'm going back and forth. I got YouTube over here. I got Instagram over here. If there's a way to share it with your friends on Instagram, please share it. Follow if you're not following. We need more happening on the Instagram. Um, I thought we were rich when we went to Sizzler. I got to go like once in the 80s. Yeah, I mean, you know, in the 80s, that was a night out for us. Um, you know, I just think of some of the that I used to go. I guess before MARTA came along, there was this diner that was my favorite place to go in fucking Santa Cruz. Went there all the time. The place was crap.
I was just
It's
thinking
crap.
about how you loved going to the
Yeah,
diner.
it was just,
Before I
it was
met you,
just.
I was like,
I'd like
no,
to be a
no, no.
regular at a place, but now you know we're regulars at nice fucking places. Everybody knows our name. They're always glad we came because we tip well, and we stay a long time and buy a lot of shit. Let's see. I want to come up with a sour jar for Amber Heard. I think she's got enough sour jar going on in her life. She's pretty much done. The the petition to have her removed from oh God, what I can't even think of that fucking comic strip's name that I never watched. Oh, Aquaman. To remove her from Aquaman 2's got a buttload of signatures, so she's probably gonna get removed from that. Um,
What, Amber Heard?
yeah. So he wants to do a sour jar on her, and I think she's sour enough. Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans, where it's a lovely day. We're on TikTok. I'm sorry, we're not on TikTok today. We're on YouTube as Uncle Birch. We're on Instagram as Uncle Birch3. Um, and I probably just need to get me a good software where I can just go live on 20 different things at the same time. You signed the petition, right on. So, a reminder, my May course is still open throughout the month of May. You can still sign up for gumroad.com/witch school, WITCHSKEWL. The May 2022 course is still open, but due to popular demand, I've had to start one for June 1st. So, for the entire month of June, you can sign up for the next one if you know May is just not your month. You just don't have what's necessary to join the class during May. Start another one in June. As a performing artist, Amber is clearly acting on the stand not well. Yes, no, I would call that very bad acting. And Johnny Depp, very good acting. He's fucking had everybody in that court eaten out of his fucking hand, man. But I've been with Johnny since 21 Jump Street was live on TV. Or it wasn't live, but it aired every fucking week. So, and Dom DeLuise's kid was in that. Never saw him in anything after
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Never saw him again in
And then there was that
anything.
other guy, Richard Greco. He was like the
Yeah.
other heartthrob.
Yeah, they
after
threw him
Johnny
in
Depp.
later. Or did he replace Johnny Depp at
No,
some
they
point?
were on at the same
They're on
time,
the same
but
time.
they were both the heartthrobs of the show.
Yeah,
Him
Greco.
and Richard Greco.
Whatever happened to that?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
Hey, Birch, do you only smoke cigarettes? Have you tried smoking herbs? And if you have to work in terms of medical work. I've been known to smoke some mugwort before readings. I guess I'm not on TikTok, so I can say, yeah, I've been a pot smoker since I was 12. And the 3 years that I was a cop, I was not a pot smoker. So it's 3 years of my life since 12 that I was not a pot smoker. I thought it would be hypocritical. Not that I made a lot of pot busts, but still. Um, Richard used to be hot. Yeah, I wonder how those people age. Marta's gonna look him up. It's Greco. Yeah. Then there was what was that? 90210. He almost seems like he ended up on that show too.
I don't think so.
I don't know. But there was a time that I tried to stop smoking and I rolled up various herbs. I used to roll my own cigarettes, um, and without doing any research, I was putting white sage in there. And it turns out, after I did research, that smoking white sage directly can drive you insane. It was an interesting time. Lavola says, hello, Uncle Birch and Aunt Marta.
Hello.
And we're coming to you live on YouTube and Instagram today.
So this is what he used to look like.
Oh, God.
And then I'm going to show you.
James Dean looking thing.
Yeah, I'm going to show you now.
He was trying to be James Dean.
I don't know how old this one is. I don't know if this is now or not. Here.
It's not
I
bad.
mean, it's not horrible.
Okay. Here, we do that one. With the most recent picture we can find of him.
I don't know if that's the most recent.
Yeah, we don't know how old that picture is. No date on it. Kind of reminded me of Tommy Lee right there. No tattoos.
I don't know that he didn't have tattoos. Here's another picture.
Yeah, it looks like he's starting to go downhill there.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp, he's aged pretty fucking well, I guess. So I don't know how we got to talking about Johnny Depp. We usually spend our
Okay,
time
this
talking
is
about
from
witchcraft and stuff.
2019, so it's pretty current.
Okay, here's the 2019. Was it Richard?
Yeah.
Great cool. 21 Jump Street. Not aging well.
He was arrested for public intoxication.
And then, oh yeah, Hexfest coming up in August. We're got a couple months away. You want to get there to hexfest.com and get tickets right away because Uncle Birch is teaching 3 workshops. Pretty rare. I usually only have to teach 1 workshop and then party the entire time.
We're still gonna party.
We're still party before the workshop. I do better workshops with a couple drinks in me.
And then there's that bar right there.
And then they got the bar right there at the River in Orleans. So, yeah, who's coming? Who's coming to Hexfest? They call it Hexfest because the shop that puts it up or puts it on is Hex. The shop is called Hex, so Hexfest. They have a podcast. It used to be called Hex Education, and now their new podcast is Hex Offenders. So they do a lot of play on words with Hex, but to have a cool name for a shop and a business that's 1 fucking word, That's brilliant. Brilliant. I'm also in trouble for saying demonolatry and most left-hand path traditions are new age. You got in trouble for that, or people just giving you a hard time for that over on TikTok? Absolutely. Great marketing strategies. I mean, he's the guy that told me that I should stop saying which school, Witchskewl, but I've said it so many times and it's out there on so many platforms. You know, it is a brand. It's unfortunately a brand that I have to spell every time I say it. So I probably should figure out how to set up a separate page and just call it Witch School with the common spelling. um, he doesn't do the podcast very often. It's been way too long. Wade. It's too hot in New Orleans in August. No, it's not. You come, bring an umbrella. You want an umbrella for the rain or for the sun? And everywhere you go is air conditioned. It's fine.
Yeah, I thought, I mean, I almost didn't go because of that, but
Yeah,
I didn't have a hard time.
it's not too hot. I mean, the first time we came here it was 110, and we were still fine. Um, okay, I'm just reading comments over here. Hello, Infinity System. How are you? Wish I could go to Hexfest, but can't get the time off work from England. Do a spell. Do a vacation spell. I haven't heard a good vacation spell before. Should come up with one. You find a way. You tell your guides, your spirits, your gods, your goddesses, hey, I want to go to this gathering with a bunch of witches in New Orleans, and I want to learn a lot of stuff and hone my craft. And you'd be surprised. They'll move mountains for you. Like when people finally, when people make the decision to join witch school, quite often I run into people that don't necessarily have the money at the time. They sign up for witch school and somehow the universe delivers. When you get serious about stuff, um, your guides will jump in there for you. Just make sure you're paid for the vacation. Yes. Before the pandemic, I went to Satchmo Fest every year in August in New Orleans. Huh. I do not know that festival. I don't know if they still have it. I've never heard of it. I mean, there's always some celebration going on in New Orleans. You know, one time it was Wednesday, so we had fireworks because Wednesday. Everything's a celebration here. And I always liked that. I've always said, I'm a pagan, I'm a witch. My ancestors celebrate their religion, and in other religions, they are celibate. And I personally think that somebody just mistranslated that once upon a time. My love for art, how are you? Coming to you live here on Instagram. Gotta spend more time on Instagram, get them numbers up. So be sure and share me around on Instagram. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies. Stir shit up over here, that's fine. Um, I intend to spend a lot more time here and other places because TikTok's just fucking aggravating. The shit I mean, when I had a video pulled off of YouTube, it was a copyright violation. I violate copyrights on our podcast Widdershins all the time. You can look up Widdershins over here on YouTube and you can get a song list of what we played. Most of the songs that we played. We violate copyrights all day, every day. And one time we played a Prince song and they pulled it. Hey, that was legit. When I've gone into Facebook jail. I may have disagreed. I should have been able to say what I said, but what I said, could be construed as bullying. Today on TikTok, I went into TikTok jail because somebody said that they would take us all to Sizzler. And I said, ew. All I said. The comment was a guidelines violation and it threw me into fucking TikTok jail to like the 20th.
That's crazy.
I was just getting ready to go live on TikTok too. I'm glad I didn't because then my live would just end in the middle of it. It's stupid. 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 We haven't even said the kid to coding school yet, and he could code better than the fucking text at TikTok, man. I'm sure he could do it. I'm sure you screw the capitalists harder than they screw you. Okay. Hey, Lady Witch over there on YouTube. How the hell are you? Coming to you live on YouTube and Instagram. YouTube, we're Uncle Birch, and we're Uncle Birch 3 on Instagram. It was Uncle Birch underscore witch, and then I couldn't change it back to underscore witch. They act like somebody else had that. And I figured, fuck it. I'll just say Uncle Birch 3 because a lot of people know me as that on fucking TikTok, and they'll find it somehow. Social media is surprisingly fascist. Yes. Well, TikTok is not even fascist for a reason. You know, people get. There was this dude the other day. He posted a video yesterday. There was a guy on his live jacking it for an hour. For an hour. His entire page is filled with, scantily clad women's videos that he stole from everybody else and posts all over his site. He's got like 100,000 friggin' followers, and he's jacking it on his live on TikTok. His account's still happening. I reported him, but actually that was the one that said it's under review. His account's under review right now. We'll see if anything happens. It's probably not going to happen. Maybe literally jacking it. I had a friend of mine. He wanted to start doing tarot readings on TikTok. So I had my followers boost his account so he could get up to 1,000 followers and go live. And he did tarot readings, and he showed the Lovers tarot card from the Rider Waite, where there's cartoon nudity. Guess what? He got perma-banned for nudity and sexual content. So, TikTok's fucking bullshit. Satchmo Fest in August 6th to 7th, 22. Oh, at the New Orleans Jazz Museum? Huh. I don't know if I've seen that one. I drive past that all the time. I drive past that, take my kid to school. It's right there on, I forget what street that is, but I drive by it all the time. They just had a festival over there. I think it was during Jazz Fest. Um, Jack it on TikTok. Got it. Guess you can get 100,000 followers jacking it on TikTok. Who knew? I don't know. I still don't know if you could actually see the jacking. Oh, Mother's Day memories.
I can't believe we lost that card.
That's ballsy, pun intended. Yeah, I don't know if there was, actual nudity or if you could see it. I heard it. It definitely sounded like somebody jacking it on the guy that stitched the video or showed a clip of the fucking video. But TikTok's ridiculous. There's either nobody running it or there's monkeys running the goddamn thing. My love for art said hi, Marta.
Hello.
Yeah, I want to see you jacking it on TikTok. Power of the occult.
They're telling me I'll jack it on TikTok.
Yeah, probably get more views than a dude doing it. Yeah. I bet if they had a girl jacking it on TikTok, people would tune in for that kind of thing. I don't know who the hell wants to watch a dude jacking it. Wade, maybe? Wade probably wants to see somebody jacking
Wade
it.
wants to
Yeah. I hope he was at least hung. Otherwise, why bother watching? Oh, dear. Mm-hmm. Uncle Birch live on YouTube and Instagram. Coming from New Orleans, it's a lovely day. Odd thing that we've noticed, we don't reach our high in temperature daily until like 4.
Yeah.
It's like we're past noon. This should be as hot as it's going to get, but no, it's going to keep getting hotter. Peak around 4.
4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6.
It's gonna be 90.
It's fucking weird. I haven't got so much hate since I said hoodoo isn't close. And I thought that was going to get you some traffic. I check your followers level every once in a while, waiting for you to be able to go live. It's just not happening. Calling hoodoo not a closed practice on TikTok's been a gold mine for followers for me, because the more traffic you have on a video, the more comments, the more back and forth you go with people, the more it boosts the algorithm. And hoodoo's not a closed practice. So. I just saw Afro Spirituals keep saying it's a closed practice. He's a friend of mine. I like the guy. I don't agree. There's no initiation process, and that's what makes something a closed practice. However, I'm a priest in an ATR, so I can use fucking hoodoo even if it was a closed practice. He blocked you? Afro spiritual, really? Didn't seem like the kind of guy that goes around blocking people. I got like 100 followers in one day once. What did you do that day? See, I'm playing with it. See, that's the thing. If you look at the couple videos that I did today on Uncle Birch 3 on TikTok, they have a lot more hits than most of my other videos because I'm old. I'm slow. I don't integrate new technology easily. And I never did any studying. So I started to do some studying on TikTok. And I looked up, just Googled it, how to boost your ratings on TikTok. They have a lot of interesting ideas. You'll notice that now my videos on TikTok, at least, the couple that I posted before I went into TikTok jail, have music attached to them. You go to the music section on TikTok, you find out what songs are trending that day, you pick this top song that's trending, and if it's a sucky song, you turn the volume on that all the way down. But the algorithm is all those musicians feeding their shit into TikTok for you to use in your little clips. They getting paid. They're making money off them little clips. I was wondering why all the punk bands that I wanted to play had the clips in there because they're getting paid by TikTok. And since it's a lucrative thing for TikTok, if you're using music that is trending, up the fucking algorithm you go. A little hashtag spot, just like hit hashtag and see what's the top hashtag today. Use that fucking hashtag. Or you go to the hashtag place and you can see all of the trending hashtags. And especially good if you can find a hashtag that has something to do with your video. But a lot of the hashtags I've been using have nothing to do with my video. And I've seen effect. I've only done those things so far. I was experimenting today, and then I went into TikTok jail. So now I'm over here on Witch School, WITCHSKEWL, on TikTok. Please follow me there so I can get to go live off of that account. I started doing that same thing. Now I'm going to read the rest of that fucking list. I'm going to do everything it says because the two things that I did are clearly working. Where I'm averaging, a video within a couple hours, I'm averaging maybe a couple hundred views on TikTok. Within an hour, I had one at 2,000 views on TikTok. Hey, power of the occult. You're jumping between worlds over here. You're going to confuse me. Now you're over here. Anyway, with those two things, I immediately saw results from. So I'm gonna go down that list with a fine tooth comb and do everything. You got invited on here? Oh, good. Well, hey, thank you guys for inviting people over here. You're inviting people that were already here, but that's cool. Let's see. What do we miss? Lady Witch, apparently you are supposed to jack it. Yes. Masturbate and smash the state, Uncle Birch says. I got to find that song. It's one of my songs I have not turned into a video.
You should make a part 2. Don't hate, masturbate.
Yo, Uncle B. Apart from the obvious, what advice would you give to somebody having financial difficulties? Maybe a lot of answers to this. You're the one who invited me to Instagram. Okay, yeah, I guess I did do that a while ago. You're over here on YouTube. On YouTube, you're going to go search through my videos. You're going to find a video that's called To Hide a Sigil in Plain Sight. You're going to use that sigil. That sigil is charged by everybody who ever looked at it and everybody who ever used it. People have been posting that sigil as graffiti around the world. I've had countless emails of people that posted that thing in weird places where it would get a lot of attention. Candelo, how are you?
Candelo.
Salam alaikum. So the money magnet sigil that's on the To Hide a Sigil in Plain Sight has been charged for about a decade on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I've seen people that are using that as their profile picture to this day on Facebook. Every person that looks upon that sigil gives energy to that sigil that is transmuted in the center of that sigil to be the money energy that you want. So especially if you're ever like low on energy, low on power, man, you break out that sigil, and people been working that sigil for you for a decade at least. Candelo's in Houston. Drove through Texas on the way here to move to New Orleans. Don't want to go back. I guess if we ever have to evacuate for a hurricane, we're going to go that way or that way, depending on which hurricane it's going to
Well,
go.
we have a
Oh, and
place to
then
stay in Mississippi
that way.
with all the animals.
Yeah. And that depends because sometimes they go right up to Mississippi. So we're going to have to see where
Yeah,
the
but
thing's
it
tracking.
doesn't hit
Yeah.
where our friend is.
New Orleans. When you come to New Orleans? Candelo. Coming for Hex Fest? Yo, can I join your live? I think I can do that. Let's see. How do I do that on Instagram? I'm going to hit this
Yeah,
little
we're not
camera
that far
thing.
from Houston, actually. Out of all the places in Texas.
Looks like you got to send me a request. Oh, wait. Invite to join. No, I already did that. Oh, you sent me a request. Okay, let's see. Go live with Power of the Occult. Will you mess June or July? Oh, cool. Right before Hexfest. Hey, maybe you'd be here for my birthday. That'd be great. July 20th. Well, you
Whoa.
definitely better hit. Don't you not hit me up, Candelo, when you're here, man. I'll never let you live that shit down. Hello, Power of the Occult. How the hell are you?
Yeah, don't forget to hit him up.
Yeah.
He'll be able to
You know
talk
what?
to
Now I
you.
need volume up over here. And my volume's down. Okay, there we go. Looking over here on YouTube, see what I missed? I told you I drew it on the freighter that travels the Great Lakes. Didn't I? Yeah, I think I remember that. Left it there until it wore away. Damn hell, yeah, I remember that video. I forgot. Really been slacking on the practice. And while I don't believe in the threefold law, there's something to the power of attraction. There's a time when somebody taught me that when you're running a retail business and you make a cash sale, there's no record of the cash sale for the IRS. So you spend the cash and you run the credit cards through the system. So each night after work, me and Marta, we'd head out to our New Orleans themed restaurant that was right by the shop. We'd take the kid over there in the stroller and just have us a good old fun time. And there's been times when money's been tight and when I'm trying to like save and I go to the store and I try and buy the cheapest stuff. And whenever I do that, there's less money rolling in. When we go out, when we have a good time, when we tip well, when we throw the shit around like it doesn't fucking matter, that's when I make more money. So it's not gonna that feed the pig ad on TV. I have not seen that play in the world. I've seen that when I throw it out, it comes back in. So there is something to that. I don't see a threefold calculation on that, so I do not believe in the threefold law, but there is something about the stuff you throw out into the universe is the stuff that comes back. So throw it around, man. Throw me some.
Dude, that doesn't work for me usually, but I think that's because I have a Saturn and Jupiter in my 12th. So it's not a very great combination.
Well, you also you got to
So
absolutely.
if I save,
Yeah, the thing is, you got
works
to
out better, but
absolutely, you
if I
got to
stop just
absolutely let
pulling
go
too
of it.
much around them.
Okay, we got a lag in between us. You gotta absolutely let go of it. You've got to throw it like you don't care. And you got when the check shows up, just sign it. Don't fucking sit there, calculate the fucking check, figure out who at the table owns what. I had a friend that used to fucking do that. It's like, split it. Split it down the fucking middle, or if you got it, fucking pick up the damn check. It'll come back into your life. Hello, the Spirit Witch. If the
Oh, hey, Spirit Witch.
If it's currency, it stops in your bank account. It will start to travel around. Also, I started studying hoodoo, and they told me they showed how to trick a dollar bill. I teach that in your class.
Very frozen now.
Yeah, I teach that in your class. I don't know if you're up to that class. It's later in the class. I think it's the class that I taught in the
I
car
have
while
no
waiting
idea
for
what you
Marta.
just said. You were totally frozen.
Yeah, there's a weird lag, and we're like talking over each other and stuff like that. But with the hoodoo method of tricking out a dollar bill, I would do that with all of the cash that came in before we went out and spent it. So that can have something to do with it too. So every bill was tricked in the hoodoo way, and then
See,
it's spread
but
around.
like for me, I need like a balance between like throwing a lot of money away and saving. And I really do think it's because of my natal chart, because I just got fucked with that conjunction. So if I save too much, I'll end up losing money. But if I start spending too much, it'll be the same way. So I have to find like the perfect balance. Wait, that Jupiter Saturn's gonna get pissed at me.
Looks like we're bringing Candelo in here.
Hello.
All right. Over here on Instagram, man, we got a bunch of people in here. All right, where is he? There he is.
Salam alaikum.
Malaikum salah. How are you, old man?
Brother?
Good to see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, I got a surprise for you. Because maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, you sent this young man to me. Okay? His name is Kilo. He goes by the name of Kilo Kindusa now. Do you remember sending this young man to me? What's going on, man?
Oh, dude, yeah, I remember you. All right, that worked out.
Yeah.
So you're Godfather now. Nice.
That's my godfather now.
Right on.
Yep. Well, I wanted to thank you for bringing this young man to me, and man, it's been a blessing since you sent him to me, brother. So
Yeah.
it's nice. Somebody just put Uncle P. How y'all doing?
I think
Uncle Pookie, baby.
Well, I think it works out. There was a time.
I've been traveling in the United States. I'm going to visit New Orleans in either June or July, so I want you to be ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
We're
ready.
gonna do our thing over there.
Yes, we are. Well, hey, you know what?
You know me, baby.
Candelo.
You know how we do it over here.
You sent me one time.
So this is.
What's that? Oh, it's
You
good.
see?
Adorable is what it is.
Yeah. We don't want to
So
think.
I'm over here doing
We don't want to
my
think
work.
about
I
how
just wanna
adorable he
stop
is.
by
He's
and
not
say
there
hi,
for fun and games. But Candelo, quit! Don't show your Nganga. Oh my God. Fuck. First you showed us the goat. Now you show us the Nganga. We're gonna get kicked off, dude. But I always remember Candelo.
I just want you to know I'm still working, baby.
You sent me a client one time for a reading, and that client ended up paying me. I felt like a mobster. They paid me protection money for 2 years to keep a constant level of protection on them. It was about $1,000 a month for 2 years. I did it. I worked it, but that was a good gig right there, man.
I can't do those kind of things anymore. People want to rent me on I want to give you this much a month to take care of me, and I'm like, dude, that's too much work.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked out at the
I just
time.
tell them, come on and get this Paulo and come and get this Arisha, and we'll go from there. You know what I mean?
Nice. So
So about that sigil that you've been talking about, you showed me that sigil about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And we actually talked about it on Candelo's Corner, remember?
I believe so. We talked about everything.
Yeah, but we talked about that sigil you were talking about.
Yeah.
And I have seen the sigil on several occasions in several places all through the United States.
Yeah. I saw.
And I got to tell you that the first person that showed me that sigil was you.
Right on.
So,
Well, we made it. We made it. Marta put the happy face on that sigil, so it would be happy money. It wouldn't come from dead relatives and shit.
Right, exactly.
But it was constructed in
at the
plain
end of the
sight.
day, you got to give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
Okay? And, you see all types of people now trying to do what we've been doing for the last 15, 20 years. Okay?
Yeah.
30 years in some aspect of it. And, it is a shame. Nobody gives credit anymore.
Yeah.
But it's great.
Well, let me
Like
ask.
you
We
said,
got
somebody learned it from a dead relative.
we got a TikTok witch over here, and I know we got a bunch of TikTok witches. So I wonder if any of you have been on TikTok where you saw somebody put some water, some oil, and some salt in like a wine glass, put a plate on top of it, flip the bitch over, and then burn an upside down candle on the rim of that bitch. I know you've seen it. I could see Damon's eyes right there. You see, that's Candelo.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You never saw that? Grammy Druid did it.
I'll look for it though.
Grammy Druid did it, and she did it exactly like Candelo taught me to do it, and that's Candelo's fucking spell.
You know, I stopped talking to her after that.
Oh, you talked to her before that? Oh yeah, because she's a Polero.
I showed her the work, actually.
I think she's Kimbisa, actually. Yeah. Well, she's a Polero.
Yeah, I showed her the work.
Okay.
I showed her the work.
So she got it directly from you.
On TikTok.
See, yeah.
She got it directly from me.
If I had done your cell, I would have given you credit for it. That's not okay.
Yes, exactly. If I do anything, I'm going to say, hey, this person gave me this spell, like I've done with Charles Porterfield, like I've done with Mama Star, you know, with yourself, you know, because I was taught that you give your elders or your teachers respect.
Yeah. I never liked Mama Star.
You know, but if you take it and run society, it's a trip.
Yeah.
So anyway, man, listen, I got to get to work. I just wanted to talk to you right quick and, you know, give you mad respect for what you're doing. You and your wife have been really keeping it up. And like I said, I wanted to thank you for bringing this young man into my life.
I'm glad that worked out. You know, I always like to hear how that shit works out. It's like you give a reading to somebody and you don't hear from them until something goes wrong next time, and then they tell you, "Hey, that reading you gave me that time, that totally worked out." It's like you only hear from people when stuff's going wrong. You know, I hate that. It's like, good. Well, congratulations to you and your new god kid.
Godchildren, they're just coming up the stairs, guys. Salam alaikum, Mike. I love you, brother.
Alaikum salam to you and your new god kid.
Give your son a hug for me and give Marta a hug for me, okay?
Absolutely. All right, thanks for coming on.
Alaikum. Nice to meet you, young man.
Alaikum salam.
Nice to meet you too.
That was fun.
How do I get out of here?
I don't know.
You don't.
I'm Instagram ignorant.
On the top, I just did like an X right here. There we go.
There you go. All right, Damon, talk for a second. I got to grab a beer.
Hello, people of Uncle Birch's Instagram and YouTube. I don't know if you can hear me on YouTube. I have hijacked this stream. How are y'all doing? I know Spirit Witch is in here somewhere. Say hi, Spirit Witch. People have no respect for people. That's actually true. People don't have respect anymore. Yeah, I'm looking at the comments, same thing. Interesting. Maybe this is why I don't go live a lot, because I never have anything to say.
What? Can you even go live on TikTok yet? I mean, here I only got like 500 followers. I'm able to go live.
Maybe it's a blessing in disguise right now.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not used to being live.
I mean, I haven't really. I've had Instagram forever, neglected it forever, and then TikTok had that thing where you can automatically share it to Instagram, and all of a sudden I start adding content. So I really haven't worked too hard on my Instagram. I only got like 500 and something followers, but I'm able to go live right away. YouTube, that's a different story. I'm old school on YouTube. I'm just looking over here.
I'll probably start doing more live videos on Instagram just to get more comfortable with it. It's not that I'm not comfortable, it's just I can't always think of something to say. I'm used to having on my videos where I can like stop for a second and just not think about what else. It's just a different feeling, I guess.
Somebody earlier was asking, how do you trick a dollar bill in the hoodoo way? Well, you can get over to gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL. Either sign up for my May 2022 course, or you can wait till June and sign up for the June 2022 course, level 1, where I teach that. Late in the course, it's probably a couple months in, but I teach how I was taught to do that. And since I teach that in a paid manner, I'm not going to teach that over here for free. To get over
I haven't got there yet, unless it's I have 2 more classes in this month. Oh, I keep forgetting to email you, but I'll email you. It's kind of I think you missed one of the classes in mine.
Huh.
At least it goes from like 16 to 18 or something like that.
That's possible. Although
And then one of the
nobody else in your
videos, he
class
said it
can
was the
count, I
first
guess,
of the
because nobody
month,
said
but it's
that.
the last of the month. So
Huh? Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me know.
I'll
Let me
email
know.
you about it.
Yeah, let me know. I'll send it back out. Sometimes the thing glitches, and sometimes Gumroad does weird
Yeah.
stuff. Roe v. Wade.
I didn't even notice it until because I've been numbering my classes and I saw it was I'm like, how was it off? And then I went back to check. I was like, oh, that's how it's off.
Hey, Mystic Deanna. If Roe v. Wade goes away, that sets us so far behind. It will be. I will be so pissed. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. But that's
Behind the rest of the world.
That's where the Trump train
disgusting.
took us, man. They wanted to go backwards. That was making America great again. To go back, let's have racism. Let's have back alley abortions. Let's take away women's rights.
Isn't it illegal to get a miscarriage in Louisiana?
What's that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I heard something about that. Isn't it illegal to get a miscarriage? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
not
can
yet.
see it, honestly.
No.
Besides New Orleans, Louisiana's shit.
Well, it's odd because Mike just read me the statistics of Democrat voters, registered Democratic voters, compared to Republican voters, and we have a majority in Louisiana, but Democrats don't show up to vote enough. We could be a blue state. I mean, New Orleans is a blue dot on the state, but the entire state could be blue. But we don't vote in our own
Well, a
fucking
lot of
best
the
interest or some
registered
shit.
Democrats vote Republican. That's the other part.
Yeah, then
We
there's
talked
that.
about that.
Which, after Trump, I just don't know if that happens anymore. I don't think anybody's going to vote for the other party.
I don't remember who they were exactly, but I heard a lot of Republicans also being like pissed at Trump for just being a complete idiot and
Yeah.
like ruining the party they're saying. I can
Yeah.
believe it.
Wade, who gave Trump a list of judges? That was Mitch McConnell. And he just went down.
Did he just buy the judges?
Well, he just went down Mitch McConnell's
There's
list.
some
His
organization.
bank account
I
bought it.
forget
Oh,
what it's
yeah.
called, and they're on the list of this organization.
I think it's the Heritage Foundation.
Something, yeah, and so that he picked them all off the list.
That's right. That's right. And yeah, gerrymandering, that too. But, we commit voter fraud. They're committing voter fraud ahead of time. Gerrymandering, redistricting, all that crap. Uncle Birch coming live on YouTube, man.
Isn't he still trying to get people to count the ballots from the 2020 election?
Yeah.
Like even now,
I mean,
he's still on about that shit.
my dad used to
How many
say.
times did they count it now? Like 50?
My dad used to say, the only person that represents themselves in court has a fool for a client. Unless your lawyer's a fucking fool. Because nobody some odd court cases that they filed without producing evidence. And they refuse to produce evidence. And then when the judge asks you, are you alleging voter fraud? And your voter goes, no, we're not saying that. Not saying that, because then they could perjure themselves because they know there was no fucking voter fraud. So 60 some odd court cases, they went with no evidence. Now, years ago, they passed this frivolous court case fucking law. So people couldn't frivolously there all the fucking time for bullshit. You end up having to pay the legal fees for other people. Trump should absolutely be hit with that 67 times, man. It's like, who the fuck goes to court without evidence? Just to produce
But
evidence.
he makes too much money for the law to apply to him.
Oh, that thinks. That's what he thinks. But then the brilliant part of that, okay, so his lawyers were stupid enough to go to court without evidence. And his lawyers and all of the right-wing people are saying, well, we're going to wait for the Supreme Court. They're just going to keep appealing it until it gets to the Supreme Court. If your lawyer's too stupid to know that the Supreme Court does not hear new evidence, but only weighs the evidence of previous trials, and that's your fucking strategy? Did you pay those lawyers? I get that's probably it. He didn't pay him. He probably didn't pay him.
You think Trump and Amber Heard got their lawyers from the same people?
Seemed like it. Seems like it. And then, Giuliani was the head of his team for the longest time. That's hearsay. Objection.
You say,
We live in humorous times.
to be fair, Amber Heard's lawyer has no chance of winning anyway, so they just gave her a they just gave him like an unwin case. There's not much he could do anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, even their own
Maybe
appointees
he's a
shoot them.
huge Johnny fan and is intentionally sabotaging it.
Well, that's kind of thing. Samoan Irish says even some of their own appointees shot them down. Well, I think they should all be shot down if they have a political side. We should not have conservative or liberal justices. What the fuck is going on? You're supposed to be fair and impartial. You're not supposed to go to the fucking to the bench with a preconceived notion. That's why this whole Roe versus Wade thing is absolute bullshit. They haven't ruled on the case yet. They've already produced an opinion paper. You shouldn't have an opinion on a case you didn't fucking rule on. Fair, impartial. That's not impartial. If you already have an opinion, you're not impartial. Language, man. People don't know what fucking words mean in this goddamn country. But I digress.
I heard Witchfoot made a book on herbal abortions, or a pamphlet, I think it was.
A book?
But it was like a pamphlet. It's like on Amazon, I think. It's like $5.
Okay. Witchfoot's got some balls. Yeah, he gets sued like a motherfucker for that. I know those recipes too. I grew up on those. I'm not gonna be telling people those things. Soon we won't even be able to fuck whom we please. Yeah. Well, I think I was talking recently. I was talking to somebody. Does anybody remember Rick Santorum when he was running for president? You know, not only do we want to do away with all LGBTQ and abortion and everything, he wanted to ban porn, and he still had votes. Considerable amount of votes. He was doing well in the fucking primary. Wanted to ban porn. Now we know that Republicans definitely watch porn, and a lot of them seem to lean towards kiddie porn. It's still porn. I mean, porn that's already in. What a world.
So you wouldn't affect them because their porn's already illegal.
Yeah, I agree. Judges shouldn't have. Yeah, they should not. If you're a liberal or a conservative justice, you shouldn't even qualify for that position. You shouldn't even. I don't even think they should be allowed to vote. Be allowed to have a political party, man. That's the only way. And like Trump with his, well, that's an Obama judge. Well, that's an Obama judge. It's like that judge responded. There's supposed to be such thing as an Obama judge or a Trump judge. Fucking judge. Red states watch the most gay porn.
You know
That is
the
true.
rules don't apply
That
to
is
people
true.
with money,
Red
though.
states watch the most gay porn that is statistically accurate and provable. Absolutely. Any thoughts on what I last said? I don't know, man. Fourth, let's see what you last said. Chaos magic before and had results, but it's influences. Yes, so I'm of a different variety of magic. I don't spend a whole. All right, YouTube's back. Sorry about that.
YouTube.
Yeah.
I have the comments put up, and I have your stream there. Oh, hey, you are back now. Oh, nope.
One thing I like on TikTok is there's a signal indicator. Love your content. Keep up the good fight. Opinions. I would like to see what a Samoan Irish person looks like too.
I can't.
Let's see. Can I
I
click on
can't
your
wait
face?
to see my Tock notifications out of stream. Like, even when I started doing, any people just yelling at me.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like it.
Fun. It's fun. About it. And then there was a
I'm sorry, I couldn't see you winning the rap battle.
I think it was relatively recently, though. Somebody wanted to come on my live, and they had a Trump flag behind them, and some good things. Well, okay, name me two. Not
To
one.
be fair, he was like extremely high when you started asking those questions.
Yeah, that guy was on. Yeah, Yeah, I think you were there that day. Meeker Rose. Oh, how are you? Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans. We are on YouTube and got over
Highway
here
in
on
the
YouTube.
closet is one with.
Yeah, YouTube's live for some reason. Did I cut out? Yes. Yeah, we got songs over there on YouTube. All right. So what are y'all doing? What do you want to talk about? We got Power of the Occult over here.
I'm trying to look at the comments on. Hello, everyone.
He's also on YouTube as Power of the Occult. TikTok is Power of the Occult.
Yeah, YouTube, TikTok. I'm on everywhere. I post on Facebook, which is my biggest following. I have like 2,000 followers, but I think a lot of them are bots. So
I
I
think
don't know how. I opened my friend request and I accepted one person as a friend, and then I got like 900 in an hour, and I have to go through removing everyone, and then I'm like, okay, only friends of friends can friend me now because that was ridiculous.
yeah. Wait. I think it was in the '80s that the FBI rewrote the Anarchist Cookbook, and they rewrote PGP encryption program. They rewrote that in '97, '98, somewhere around there. So we were using it pretty happily in '95 and '96. Going back and forth. Indy Phillips here from TikTok. Hello, I'm in TikTok jail right now, so I'm over here.
I'm surprised you haven't plugged Hexfest yet.
I did. Where were you?
Did you? Then I
Yeah.
missed it.
Yeah. Hexfest. You
That
got to
makes
get to
sense, yeah.
Hexfest. Tickets are going to sell out at Hexfest, man. It's August 12th to the 14th. Witches
Have
from
they
all over
already
the
sold
world.
out? I'm gonna check actually
Witches from
because I
all
feel
over the
like this
world
is
coming to
much
New
time
Orleans.
last year. They
Yeah.
sold out.
Yeah, I think I would have been. They would have probably told me because then I don't have to keep plugging it. But August 12th to the 14th in New Orleans, one of the largest magical gatherings ever. And I'll be teaching 3 workshops, pretty epic workshops. Get over there to hexfest.com. There they call me Michael Carell, but if you click on that name, it also says Uncle Birch. You'll see the picture. It looks like me, except I'm dressed all in white. That was one of my white period where that picture came from. But it's going to be epic. And although we have a fuckload of witches here on Hexfest weekend, we take this goddamn town over. And it's a
The
hoot.
Christians weren't there last year, and I was
I
disappointed.
know. I don't know if they forgot about us, but they, good 3 years in a row they were protesting Hexfest. I missed them.
Maybe didn't they like sneak into the hotel one year and just leave like pamphlets
Yeah,
on
they
all the
like
doors?
slid
Yeah, I think that was
threatening flyers.
that was in 2017.
Yeah.
And yeah,
That's a very smart idea to give a link to a bunch of witches.
I know it. I know it. I know it. I know. It used to be really interesting because right out the door of the Bourbon Orleans Hotel where the event happens, you take a left and there's a Catholic church right there. And so they would assemble in front of the Catholic church in August in full sun with no shade. And slowly they'd be melting and just, it was such an unenergetic protest. A couple times I walked by and they were really trying to get a chant going and just everybody was dying from the heat. Yeah, yeah.
For the people who apparently hate hell so much, they don't mind sitting in the heat all day.
Yeah. Yeah. They Arcane Magic Shop, they protested Hexfest at least 3 years in a row.
but they weren't there last year.
Weren't there last year, no. I don't know if they forgot about us. Maybe too many of them died from COVID. I don't know.
Greg Locke was about like 20 minutes away from Cauldron Fest when that was going on. I don't know if he did any protests. He would do.
Yeah, I had to pull out of Cauldron Fest. It's just too much.
What, you missed the opportunity to meet Greg Law?
I did. I missed the opportunity, and I missed the opportunity to go to
I would
Tennessee.
love to see that interaction.
Wasn't really looking forward to going to Tennessee, but just couldn't pull it off. It's like, it's during school time. There's no way to do that. Have your festivals in the summer. Some of us are parents. I mean, a lot of us come from a fucking fertility religion, right? That happens. There's some breeders.
And you said you had a bad feeling about it.
Yeah, just not public like that. But yeah, I had a feeling some stuff was going to go on, and then stuff went on. But, turned out okay.
Did something happen?
Well, they tried to get through the gates.
Some guy was gonna protest, but I guess security took care of it.
Yeah, they tried to get through the gates, and security was, a lot of Ozatru dudes that stepped up and decided to be security at the last minute, and they went and they apparently when the mob of big burly Ozatru dudes and shield maidens started towards the gate. Word is they turned tail and ran. Yeah.
I could believe it. Did you see the video when Greg Locke was having that book burning? Someone takes a Bible and fills it in, and then starts screaming, "Hail Satan!"
That was great. That was fucking great.
I love when he's like, "I just burned the Bible," and everyone starts cheering because they didn't realize what he was saying.
So, Arcane Magic Shop. You coming to Hexfest? You should come to Hexfest. Hexfest is epic.
I'll be at Hexfest.
Yeah. We have so many people from TikTok and my students and other social medias that have said that they're coming to Hexfest. We're going to be like wandering around a big fucking mob, just the people I know. And take over the riverboat ritual.
Probably.
Breeders are gross. Keep their alternative lifestyles to yourselves, please.
Well, now it's not up to us anymore.
Yeah, that's not up to us anymore, man. No, they're forced breeders. And I think it really comes from they believe that there's not enough white babies. And a fucking Supreme Court justice said that.
She said there's not a domestic supply of infants.
Yeah.
That's gross, man. It's not like the world's already overpopulated or anything like that.
Yeah, ask all the people who can't find housing.
Yeah. And a lot of those states that are, right away Mississippi, child poverty rate in the fucking country, they're going to pass the anti-abortion shit right away. Most of the states around us, including our state, highest levels for fucking child poverty, highest welfare rates, all of it. So Arcane Magic's gonna use that sigil. Yeah. Money magnet sigil.
I saw a Republican saying that someone got raped, right? And she was saying, well, that person should have been looking at how they were acting, and the person that got raped was a 12-year-old girl, so...
Mm-hmm. Well, Wade hits on an interesting point here, and I've often said this. Wade says that the planet has more than enough people. I've often said that we can look at the world and see the Catholic countries, and the majority, if not all of the Catholic countries are in poverty. They have too many fucking kids because they're anti-abortion, they're anti-contraception, all of this fucking shit. And we have these strong Catholic countries, and they're always fucking suffering. Even Ireland, we don't think of them as a fucking third world country. Men have had to leave Ireland since the 1800s because there's not enough jobs, there's not enough food there, until they got to the point where they had a shortage of Irish men. And they had to encourage some Irish men to come back to fucking Ireland to have some fucking Irish babies.
It's like women in China.
The same
Everybody
thing.
was so busy having boys that they ran out of
China
girls.
almost ran themselves off of the fucking gene pool. They barely turned it around before they were extinct
Well, they
as a
let people
race.
have two now.
Yeah, they had to change everything, and they gave incentives to Chinese women to come back and have fucking babies and shit. We'll pay you to come fucking have Chinese babies so that our race is not extinct because we were fucking stupid. Yeah, that one child only rule, and everybody only wanted to have a boy. Dumbass. HIV spread in Africa because of the Catholic Church. I believe it. I believe it. What was that bar that you were talking about? That's the gay something.
Cheers for queers.
Cheers for queers. We're looking at a new bar that's that our lawyer hangs out at.
Trees.
And we like to go drink with our lawyer. We get a lot of free legal advice when we do that and shit.
Well, plus he's our friend.
And he's a friend of ours too. The new bar that they're hanging out at, Marta was looking it up, and they said it's the new Cheers for Queers. So most of the places we hang out at here are gay bars. I mean, because most of our friends are gay, and that's where they're going to be hanging.
To having witchcraft stores, just like David Griffin.
Yes. Kimbisa Keys 227. I wonder if that's Candela's new god kid.
I saw a video just yesterday of David Griffin saying that he comes from a long line of Rosicrucians that are fighting against the Illuminati.
Oh God, the Illuminati again. My lawyer's he's married. He's married and middle-aged. But
been married for a long time.
Yeah, I think being that most of our friends are gay, the bars we tend to find ourselves in are gay bars. We went out just last night with Marta to the country club, and based on the conversation there, the majority of the dudes there were gay.
It used to be, the pool used to be a
It
gay
used to
mecca.
be a gay country club.
Clothing optional pool.
Clothing optional pool. I mean, this neighborhood, they say used to be like the gay neighborhood in New Orleans.
Yep.
I guess we gentrified it.
Until they moved to, I think they moved to, did you say Tremaine?
I'm not sure. I am so sick of the flies trying to get your beer.
Yep.
Go in there, flies.
I also hate when occultist lies in like daddies. Should be reading their comments. They're very interesting.
Well, our lawyer is not an occultist. He's told me very clearly I don't believe in any of that shit you believe in. My beliefs don't require you to. It's cool. But most of the people I know that are his clients are occultists, but I guess that's because he's in New Orleans.
He was best friends with Hoodoo San Luis.
Mm-hmm. It was his lawyer, Dorothy Morrison, on and on and on.
I got one of Hoodoo San Luis's books like a month ago. That when that whole Hoodoo fiasco was going on with me.
Yeah, he's only got one book. That's a good book. Marta's got a signed copy. For her birthday, and we had Moise over here, and I had gone to his shop and bought it, so I called him into the kitchen and had him sign the thing for her. But I'm sure glad we did that before he passed. So we were not expecting him to leave us. Miss him greatly. Okay, stop. No mourning the dead. Let's see if I miss anything on YouTube. Why am I in TikTok jail again? Some dude said on somebody else's post that when he gets his $70,000, he's going to take us all out to Sizzler. I replied, "Ooh," with an exclamation point, EW, exclamation point, which was harassment and bullying, and I lost my appeal. TikTok looked at that and they determined that was harassment and bullying. Now, last time I said "ew" on TikTok and got that same violation on TikTok. Uh, talking about a particular female that was clearly on meth. And she was talking
Oh, I
about,
know who you're talking about.
yeah, she was like talking about how hot she was or some shit. And she's an attractive white woman. I went, ew. I went to jail for that one too. Back Morgan, I got Hoodoo's book, or Hoodoo Saint Maurice's book, to last month at the Biennial Planned Parenthood book sale. It's a great book, and it really with authors, there's a lot about keeping the author's voice. Marta has edited a lot of occult books, and that's a really important point is to keep their tone of voice in there. And Marta's read more of his book than I have, and she says she hears his voice every sentence.
I'm gonna read his book after I finish. I just got Damien Eccles' new book, Ritual. And then once I finish that,
Well,
it's a
we're
very
gonna
short book, but it's also
we're gonna for his birthday or some other date that we choose. Um, we've had him on Widdershins at least 3 times. We first met him because he was a guest on Widdershins when he was the only person that would come on and talk about gay poleros. Nobody had the guts to cover that subject, and most podcasts wouldn't even cover that subject 'cause it's a taboo allegedly. But he came on because he's a gay polero, and we were just entranced with the guy. We just fell in love with him. Just listened to. Is that the one of the times on Widdershins when you barely heard Uncle Birch and Aunt Marta, because we were just in the background listening to this motherfucker talk. The next time we had him on, we had Christian Day and Moise at our house, and we did the show over fried chicken at the fucking kitchen table. Christian ordered a bunch of fried chicken, so we're just eating and drinking and having a fucking good time. And then the last time we had him on, we had no idea. We knew he had some really accepted they were as serious as they were. But I'm sure glad we did what we did. Widdershins can go 3 hours per broadcast. And we can do 3 hours per day, unlimited times per day, which means we could broadcast all day and just reboot every 3 hours. And we did that a long time ago just to see if we could. Hoodoo San Moise was over, and I just kept bringing him bourbon, and the more drinks I gave him, the more he talked. And when he started talking about voodoo, I am convinced there are stuff that is way beyond our pay grade that he told us about voodoo, because I kept giving him drinks. And we let him go for 3 fucking hours, man. We did a 3-hour broadcast. So our last broadcast, which was the last, I think the last known interview with Hoodoo Saint Moise, was 3 hours fucking
I'm gonna
long.
look for that one.
You can find it on YouTube if you scroll back a bit, but if you go to the Widdershins archives, you definitely find it. But I want to make the first 2 broadcasts and make them 1 broadcast, and then the next day broadcast the 3-hour one, and just like celebrate his fucking birthday. Remember, with the night he passed, we rebroadcast, or actually the day after he passed, we rebroadcast the last broadcast we had with him.
There are ceilings that got stolen.
Bastards. We want to rebroadcast those broadcasts, but that last one, just 3 hours, just him talking, and just every so often I get him going again, throw in a couple words, but you hear a whole lot from Birch and Marta on that broadcast, man. Just Hoodoo Saint Moise with an open fucking mic and enough bourbon in him. God, that fucking show was gold. Great way
I
to
remember right after he passed, a lot of people on TikTok were talking shit about him because he was white and practiced voodoo.
Yeah, stupid ass motherfuckers. Guys like initiated in Haitian voodoo, goes to Haiti several times a year, does humanitarian work there, and he's got God kids there.
Donates a bunch of money.
He's like probably the only voodoo practitioner I know of that's ever fucking been to Haiti.
Amanda went there for her initiation.
Yeah, but that was the other thing. His God kids, he would only initiate in Haiti. His voodoo God kids. You'd have to go to fucking Haiti and do it the right fucking way. 2 or 3 days worth of fucking.
See, that's what people don't understand, that New Orleans voodoo and Haitian voodoo are two separate religions. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
Well,
if you're initiated in one, you're not going to run the same stuff as being initiated in two.
Absolutely. And he lived in New Orleans, and he talked all kind of shit about New Orleans voodoo. He was not a fan at all. He'd tell you, you know, it's like Wade knows what I'm talking about. There's a certain cuntness that gay men can evoke that a non-gay man just can't fucking go there. He would fucking go there. Hello, all you people joining on Instagram. Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans. We're on YouTube and Instagram at the same time. We've been talking about all kind of damn shit, but lately, last few minutes, we've been talking about our dear friend Hoodoo Samois, who passed on Valentine's Day.
I just asked Richard to remind me when his birthday is. It's later this month, but I don't remember the actual date. It's the end of May.
Okay.
But I don't remember the actual date.
So around the end of this month on Wittershins, we're going to be having a Hoodoo Samois epic. You know, maybe we'll just fucking, you know, it's a rebroadcast. All we've got to do is rebroadcast it and sit back and listen.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just take a fucking day and do all 3 broadcasts in one fucking day for his fucking birthday. Now, I did say that Hoodoo Samois was the only one that had the guts to come on our show and talk about gay poleros. But earlier we had Candelo Cambisa came on the show here, and back when I was on his show as his co-host for a couple years, it took some convincing, but I did get Candelo Cambisa to do a show on gay poleros, even though he previously said that they do not exist. He didn't want to touch it at first, and I had to keep, you know, edging him on, and he finally did it. That particular broadcast seemed to get hacked, and you could only really listen to it in the rebroadcast. The live broadcast was almost unlistenable.
Why is gay polero such a topic, though?
For the same reason it's such a topic when you're a woman menstruating in that tradition.
Palo, in all of its manifestations, is one of the only male-dominated crafts that we have on the craft landscape. It's all about men. Men have the power. The yaya seems to take a back seat to the tata, which doesn't happen in voodoo, doesn't happen, Santeria doesn't happen in any of those other traditions. So in there, they have some weird Catholic taboos, like a woman cannot be in the manonso if she's menstruating, or the manonso consume her. Marta's been in the manonso plenty of times while she's menstruating, and that never fucking happened. They say in Palo that the old pacts forbid gay people from ever being in Palo. However, I was able to get all these gay poleros to come on, and they were fine, and nothing ever happened to them. And our tata, me and Marta's tata, hey, and we with another house, kind of, and he was, you know, we had a falling out with those people, and he forbid us to talk to this one guy that was his godbrother. And he especially can't talk to him because he's gay and he's a polero, and that's against the rules, and he's going to die of a heart attack. And so we went right to that guy. We went right to that fucking guy. And I'll tell you what, in the first tata, in his house, I did, I even forget what the ritual was, but I'm not even going to tell you all of it, but it's a cleansing ritual where at a certain point you have your clothes ripped off, and then they pour on you. I had that ritual with this dude, and I had this ritual with the gay dude, and I was far less self-conscious and feeling tweaky in front of the not gay dude than in front of the gay dude being fucking naked, having shit poured all over me. It didn't fucking, the other dude was just, he was so fucking awkward about it. He made the situation even more awkward. It's like, look, I'm standing here naked. The last thing I need is for you to act fucking awkward. You know, it's already fucking awkward. But anyway, so we went to that guy, and he told us the story. He went to Cuba, which is the homeland of Palo. Apollo is not from Africa, is Afro-Cuban, to get his initiation. And right for his initiation, he's talking to the Tata, and he says, well, hold on, I got to tell you something. I'm gay. And the Tata, he says the Tata just kind of looked at him like a fucking German shepherd, and he goes, so what? What? And he goes, well, in America, we're told that it's absolutely against rules that gay people can't be initiated in Apollo. And the guy just kind of looked at him, really? Say, what? And he goes, so you have a penis, right? He goes, yeah. He goes, and it works, right? He goes, yeah, most days. He goes, then you're a man. That's all that matters. You're a man, you have a penis, you could be a Tata, fucking Apollo. Like, in the homeland of Apollo, a well-respected Tata in a very well-known house had never heard of this American idea that gay people can't be in Apollo. No. There was no validity to that ever again. Now, the other thing, in Apollo, you go before the Tata and the Yaya, and you say, I want to petition your house. And they throw the chumalongos, they do their divination and see if the fucking spirit of the Nganga wants you. Well, the spirit of the Nganga wants both me and Marta. It took the same journey, same time, because Madre de Agua, Kalunga, wanted us both. Then the Tata and the Yaya perform a ceremony, a very involved ceremony. It costs a lot of fucking money, and there's a lot of people involved. So I understand why it takes a fucking lot of money. They do the ceremony, and then you're scratched. So it did not matter what the Tata thought, what the Yaya thought. There's a spirit in the Manonso called the Nkisi. The Nkisi decides. In every ATR, see, now that's the thing, is our Tata was also a priest in Ocha, which is a variation of Santeria. We arbitrarily learned a lot of things that we probably weren't supposed to really know. We even attended a ritual but didn't go inside of a Santeria ritual, and we were accepted by other people there. So what I've known of the other ATRs, it's a very similar thing. The priest and priestess perform an initiation, and if the spirit accepts you, or I'm saying, perform a divination, and if the spirit accepts you, they perform an initiation, regardless of what they think. So, to answer your question in less words than I just used, people are bigots and they bring their bigotry into their spirituality or religions, and that's all it was. The spirits are not bigots and didn't give a fuck about any of that shit. They didn't care about our white skin.
That woman on my page saying she was a priest and TikTok, but that person who said she was a priest in I think it was Santeria, and would never initiate a white person even if the spirit told her to.
Yeah, I called her a fake ass bitch. Yeah, I remember her. I said, well, then you're a fake ass bitch because you clearly don't know how it works. You can't be a priestess if you're telling me that. You don't get to decide. But spirits decide. And if the spirits decide, then that's your fucking job.
These people don't even watch the video because
hey, Lunar, honey.
You'll see the caption and then just pause the video, comment. And I know that because I talk about some of the stuff that they're asking questions about or insulting me about in the actual video. Like, if you just shut up for 5 seconds and watch the goddamn video, you know that.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's so much bullshit TikTok. TikTok was the first place I ever heard hoodoo being called a closed practice. And I'll probably continue to butt heads with people over that forever because it's ignorance.
I mean, I do a lot of rituals I do stem from hoodoo. I don't consider myself like a hoodoo practitioner. There are a lot that I do. But like nothing bad, no spirits are coming after me. In fact, all those rituals work a lot better than a lot of other stuff, which is why I kept them.
Yep.
I wouldn't be doing shit if I was getting like negative crap back every single time.
Yeah. Well, these ideas are a very recent invention. Back when I was a kid, there was a big pile of magical shit in the middle of the fucking table that you didn't know where any of it came from. Turns out some of that was hoodoo. Some of that was hoodoo, chaos magic, strega, classical witchcraft, other folk magics, and you just found things on that table that worked and you fucking used them. So I was working high junk since I was fucking 12 years old, man. I've been working all that shit. And then I looked back at some of the witchcraft that my mom published, my witch mother, and I'd have to call it a hybrid hoodoo. It's got all the elements of hoodoo, but it also recognizes planetary configurations, phases of the thing, which actually, due respect to the hoodoo people, might be a good idea. You know, those phases of the moon that we're always talking about, those are power points that exist. Whether you like it or not, part of your system, there's certain energies that exist on the full moon that are not the same energy exist on the new moon. There are certain things that are higher on the full moon, and then all of those other days, all of the equinoxes, the solstices, all of the high holidays, those are energy points that exist. Um, could never be so bigoted that I would not choose a magic that works as part of my system,
Yeah,
just because some other
that's
race had it or something.
that's also like a lot of the shit I hear that ceremonial magicians get, that they're cultural appropriating because they have a lot. They take from a lot of different systems, but it's because it's after years of orders and people trying these and seeing that that's what's working for them. People aren't gonna stop because you said, like, some random dude on the internet said stop.
Yeah. Well,
I have a lot of people saying the ancestors are gonna get you, and I'm like, still waiting.
the ancestors seem to want my white ass.
Either
Yeah, it's
see, the ancestors don't like care that about my practice because I'm being respectful about it.
yeah.
Otherwise, they would have probably came after me.
Well, like I've said on TikTok and everywhere else, you know, I have a certain amount of traceable African blood, and I'm gonna honor all my fucking ancestors. You know, I really haven't gotten around to my Nordic ancestors yet, and that's probably a disservice to them because I do have that in my blood too. But you know, I eventually want to get to the point where I am honoring all of my known ancestors, and for somebody to tell me that I shouldn't honor those ancestors because of their skin color is a level of bigotry that I can't even conceive of or put into words. I'll honor all my fucking ancestors. If you don't like it, fuck off. You're not one of my fucking ancestors. Matter of fact, Hoodoo Saint Moise is one of my ancestors now. My ancestors are witches. It ain't all about fucking DNA. It ain't all about familial fucking connection. My ancestors are
People
magic
don't
workers.
realize that a lot of the ancestors aren't always related to you. There's a lot of adoption that goes into all magical practices. You get adopted into whatever spiritual practice you're doing, and then you're connected with the ancestors of that spiritual practice. It's the same way in some ceremonial traditions too, like the Golden Dawn. They don't call them ancestors, but they get connected to that egregore of the system. It's the same way within hoodoo traditions or witchcraft tradition. You're being connected to that egregore, which is powered by all the people in that tradition.
Arcane Magic Shop. I would say Working Conjure by Hoodoo Saint Moise, the book we were just talking about. Absolutely epic. Although I don't necessarily like Cat Ironwood anymore, her Hoodoo Herb and Root Magic book is a must-have.
The green book.
The green, I must have that on my shelves. It's and it's way beyond herb magic. I mean, there's dust daubers and bee stuff and I think that even chrysalises from fucking butterflies used in that. So it's not even just herbs and plants, but absolute must have. Now many young witches are insisting that all white people are racist, and by not acknowledging them, by not acknowledging that proves one's racism. Okay. Well, some little brats need to be slapped and put in timeout. That's kind of the thing. When I get out here on fucking TikTok, I find myself arguing with some that I have sperm older than, and I just can't take them seriously. You can call me an ageist if you want, but I've been practicing this stuff for fucking too many years to listen to somebody that just started fucking practicing tell me who's who, what's what, or fucking anything. Just shut the fuck up and get off my lawn, period. I just put Hoodoo
Dude, I
Samoyesi's
see
book
a
in my
lot of
cart. Could you
older
repeat?
people spout stuff that I don't agree with, and what I do is I just move. I just go away.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else.
The other book,
I
Arcane
don't
Magic
feel the
Shop.
need to like, yeah, come after them.
The other book, Arcane Magic Shop, is Hoodoo Herb and Root Magic by Kat Ironwood. She has a lot of books. I don't really recommend her. I studied with her, and I don't agree with a lot of her positions and where she's taken some things. But that particular book, she is scholarly. I'll give her that. I'll give her that. She studies her shit before she publishes something. God, what is that? Is a bumblebee behind me? Saw a big fucking something around. Perks of being joined. Hello. Oh my god, yes. Alright. Uncle Birch live on TikTok and YouTube. Let's see if I'm missing anything on YouTube. Uh, I don't really think that globalists are really a fucking thing. However, if there were a thing, it'd be like fucking Star Trek. It'd be a good fucking thing. This nation states fighting each other all over the fucking planet. That's what we get. That's what we get with the system that we have now. We have one fucking global system and all fucking united. There'd be nothing fucking wrong with that, man. This stuff we have right now is fucking stupid. Fucking tribalism. Worldwide fucking tribalism is what we have on Earth. And it's been the same for fucking ever, man. Have you heard of Chaotic Witch on TikTok? Oh, Chaotic Witch Ant
I
on
think I've
TikTok.
heard it. I don't know. I don't have an opinion. But I've heard the name before.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Wade says her book Hoodoo seemed like it was intended to gather knowledge and more magic. Craft student, kind of sketchy. Well, that's kind of the thing. Kind of thing. To join her course, you need to be a customer who has bought a certain amount of stuff from her. In order to get into the course, then you have to buy a bunch of other stuff from her. If you finish the course, then you go into an apprenticeship program where you work for free in her fucking shop, packaging merchandise. This is the apprenticeship program. Free labor. Well, I'm an anarchist. I'm a unionist. I frown on free labor. That was.
Wasn't your shop like mostly volunteers though?
They were volunteers. That's different than the free labor thing. They got their own perks. They didn't get
Free classes.
They got free classes. They got free merchandise. They got all kinds of stuff. A lot of them got to do readings in the shop during their time. Like there's one of the readers would run the shop while she was there, and she get to keep all the money from her readings. We didn't anything that kind of shit. Let's see if I miss anything on YouTube. I'm pretty caught up. Uncle Birch coming live from New Orleans on YouTube and Instagram. My current course still open May 1st. Level 1 2022 is still open throughout May at gumroad.com/witchschool, which is, of course, WITCHSK. But by popular demand, I have to start another one June 1st, even though I just started one May 1st. Usually like a month or two apart, but so many people signing up for this one, it's eventually going to be full. So if you pull it off on in May, then the next course is coming up in June. So the best thing is go to gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL. Set yourself up an account and follow me, and then you'll get a notification when that class launches.
How long do you do the level 2 classes? Because I was hoping to go like right into the level 2 once I finished 1.
Those usually
You don't
about
seem to upload those a lot.
about every 3 months. I did also start a level 2 for May, so that one's probably a couple months. Spirituals 33 Martha. Louisiana or Hoodoo.
I'll look out for that once I'm in the September class, so around then.
Okay, in Louisiana, our hoodoo is very native and Afro-American, which in my studies, the Indians that are Indians to us were the indigenous Africans of America. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. In Louisiana, I'm going to read it again. In Louisiana, our hoodoo is very native and African American, which in my Indians that are Indians to us were the indigenous Africans of America. Huh. Okay. Well, one thing that I've noticed in New Orleans, I've heard the words cultural appropriation 3 times, and they came out of my mouth. And the person on the other end looked at me like I was talking Martian. Doesn't exist. In New Orleans, everything's a bunch of spiritual ideas from all different cultures. And the Italians fucking came here, the French were already here, the Spanish were here, the African Americans were here, the Haitians were here. Everybody was fucking here. It was a port city, and we took a bunch of magical and spiritual beliefs, threw them in a fucking blender, and turned it on, and it works great. Even New Orleans voodoo works great for those fucking practitioners. My friend Hoodoo Sen Moise didn't like them, but still it tends to work for them. It isn't a thing that tends to come up here. Everybody gets along. I go work with people from all different colors and races and traditions, and nobody's tripping on any of the shit that everybody's tripping about on TikTok. So I don't even know why I waste my time arguing about this shit on TikTok, because it really just doesn't have any effect on me in the world in which I live. So I'm not sure where in Louisiana you are, but we're in New Orleans proper, stone's throw from the French Quarter, right over here. And welcome. I don't know if I know you. Follow if you're not following.
How long have you been on TikTok till?
I think the 20th. I just spending time on the witch school. Get over there. Share witch school with your friends, and I need to get that one up to 1,000.
I think I'm following all the accounts.
What's that?
I think I'm following all the accounts.
Yeah, but see if you could share it. I know you only got a couple hundred people, but still, everybody shares the damn thing. Got to get it up to where I can go live on that account.
I'll make a video.
Yeah.
Stitching you or something.
Well, and another thing that I did do, I've got Uncle Birch 3 on TikTok is in jail. Uncle Birch 4 is not in jail. But the same time I made Uncle Birch 4, I made Witch School, WITCHSKEWL. And nowhere in Witch School does it say Uncle Birch. And I got way more followers on Witch School than I have on Uncle Birch 4. So I think there is some element of a shadow ban on my name. So when I start my next account, I'm going to call it Brooks Was Here. Because on TikTok and Facebook and everywhere, I'm institutionalized. I can't stay out of Facebook prison or TikTok jail. As soon as I get it, I go back in. And if you know what Brooks was here mean, then you get it. And if you don't, you can actually Google that. What does Brooks was here mean? I'm in New Orleans, but I'm from Opelousas, Louisiana. I don't even know where that is. I try not to go too deep into the state. I like our little purple spot over here in New Orleans, or blue. I like our blue part in New Orleans. There's some rednecky red places that I just don't want to go to around here. We're old school country who's where the hoodooing. This year, we're still in the phases of figuring out what grows here, what doesn't grow here, what's going to be killed by the sun, what's going to be killed by too much rain. So we're experimenting
by the bugs.
By the bugs. And I started growing, I'm growing high john. And then after that, I looked it up, and high john's native to Louisiana, so it makes fucking sense. That should work, right? Over here I got Abre Camino. When we lived in California, I tried to get Abre Camino to grow a few times, and it didn't fucking work. But Florida is its native land, so I figured this would be good enough. It wants humidity, so my Abre Camino is flourishing. It's doing really fucking good. We're learning some shit. So you mentioned cultural appropriation from which angle? I didn't even know what we were talking about at the time. It was just like
It was when you were talking about. You said the only times you had a cultural appropriation.
And I think that what they're asking is what we were discussing at the time. I think we're probably talking about hoodoo. I was in a hoodoo shop at the time. But the 3 times that I said it, it's like the person looked at me like, "What? Huh? What you talking about, Willis?" And it's like there, and then I started, that's why I started paying attention. You got your hoodoo in your witchcraft. You got your witchcraft in your hoodoo. You got your hoodoo in your voodoo. You got some witchcraft in your voodoo. And then you got some Haitian in your voodoo sometimes too. And then all of the other things here too. All of the ATRs are here. My friend Hoodoo Semois, he was a Polero. He was, a Tata in Palomayombe. He's also a priest in Haitian voodoo, and a hoodoo practitioner and writing books and stuff. That book that we mentioned, Working Conjure, and he had his shop here in New Orleans was Conjure New Orleans. So I don't remember the exact context of what the fuck we were talking about. I just kind of learned that, that PC shit we were talking about in California doesn't really mean the same thing that I think it means here. So let's not get off on the wrong foot here, but I do have to follow that up. I know of no African traditions that use the word priestess or high priestess. They tend to use some African words. Also, I am of the belief, and will fucking die on this hill, that hoodoo is not a closed practice. Because hoodoo is not pure African magic. It borrows from everything else that was already here, including Native American magic. But the main reason is that hoodoo does not have an initiation process. The main body of hoodoo, I have met people here and there that say they were initiated into hoodoo, but generally, as a practice, there is no governing body of hoodoo. There is no central church, and hence no initiation practice. And that's how we have a closed practice, is initiation. I'm an initiated priest in Palomayombe. And in Palomayombe,
make a video of that.
In Palomayombe, it's a closed practice.
Which school?
Okay, I will try to do that. You knew him personally. He was our best friend, man. He's been over here many times. We, Spiritual 33 Martha, we do a podcast called Widdershins Radio. Tends to happen Wednesdays about 5 p.m. Central Time. And we've had several interviews with Hoodoo Semois. We could have him come to the house, and I get him drunk, and then he just keeps talking, and we just have a mic. And his birthday's coming up towards the end of the month. past that. I'm sorry to break it to you this way. Um, but yeah, family lineages, I've run into them, but generally it's not the mainstream. It's rare in hoodoo to have an initiation, and for a practice to be closed, the main body of the practice needs to have an initiation process to join it. At any rate, um, later this month, if you find Widdershins Radio out there, wherever you get your podcast, we're going to broadcast all 3 interviews that we did with Hoodoo San Moise to celebrate his fucking birthday. So that'll be coming up. Um, so your family lineage does have an initiation process. Yeah, I've had a couple people that do that, or that have said that. But 9 times out of 10, every person that's ever come out on the internet that said they had a hoodoo grandmother that taught them, they were absolutely full of shit. So you might be that 1 time out of 10 that's not full of shit, but people make that shit up all the fucking time. But generally, as a practice, hoodoo's not a closed practice. Your version of hoodoo,
Yeah, but having
having
a family initiation is different than hoodoo itself.
yes, that would be your family's practice is a closed practice of hoodoo. Like witchcraft is not a closed practice, but my version of witchcraft, the Circle A system of magic, um, requires initiation. I mean, you can actually I have plenty of students that never get initiated, but to be a Circle A member requires initiation. Oh yeah, I'm not. Oh, at all. I'm not at all. I know what you're talking about. Okay, cool. Hello, Brad Beavers. A lot of people believe that because they aren't.
How many
really
members do you
hoodoo.
have in?
In where?
Probably Circle A.
Circle A? Shit.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Countless.
It keeps buffering, and I keep thinking you're not talking, and then you
Yeah,
are talking.
there's a lag. There's a lag between us. We keep talking over each other. Uh, countless, and we have an old Circle A and we have a new Circle A. And I can't. It's kind of hard to explain that kind of thing because there's certain things that are priestcraft, in which the veil must remain closed. Um, but there are times in the path of priesthood that you're in an area for a certain amount of time, and the initiates become too dependent on you to run everything, and they cease to grow because they're expecting the priest and the priestess to do all the stuff for them. Twice in the career, or twice in the path of Circle A and in my career as a priest, I've pulled up stakes and cut off communication with all of the initiates of that particular geographical region, and just disappeared off the fucking face of the map. If there was any other way to get these people to rule themselves, to lead themselves, I'd already tried it. And the only way to stop that, I'm getting a little choked up because there's some people that get really upset when I've done that. I've done that 2 times in my priesthood. Just poof, I'm fucking gone. You figure it out. You lead yourself. The last thing I wanted to be was a leader that somebody depended on for every step on the fucking journey. That's not Circle A. Now,
That's why that really pissed me off when a Sleepless Mind was saying that I would be nothing if it wasn't for you. I've been practicing magic very well long before I even met you. I've been running from people like Damien Eccles, Chloe, Freda Xavier. So to say that's because I just know you is the reason I'd be nothing without you, I was like, the fuck are you even talking about?
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to go here. Wade McMorrigan says, yeah, I know a gay white hoodoo author with a New York accent claims that he was raised in the Ozarks and that their mom taught them hoodoo. Are we talking about Orion Foxwood?
Yeah, that's who I thought it was too.
Are we talking about Orion Foxworthy? You might be a redneck witch. He exploits gay male readers who ask him for spells, pay him thousands of dollars, and when he dishes them and they try to follow up, he threatens to curse. This really sounds like him. Yeah, you're talking about Orion Foxwood, huh? Yeah, not a fan. He hates me, though. He only hates me because of one of his friends hates me. But when I was first booked to teach at Hexfest 2019, an enemy of mine from Santa Cruz, who is his handler and himself, drove to New Orleans, or I'm sorry, probably flew to New Orleans, uh, to demand that Christian Day deplatform me from Hexfest. Now, if you don't know Christian Day, he's not the kind of guy that takes demands like that lightly. And ultimately, what happened, she got deplatformed. He got deplatformed. I've been booked every year since. And now I'm a local. Now I'm a New Orleans local, and I'm going to be at Hexfest every year until I piss those dudes off. I cannot confirm nor deny that. No, I know. As soon as he went there, because you could look him up on what's that scammer site? There's all kinds of people he allegedly did work for, and then he threatened them when they came back at him because the work hadn't happened. And so, yes, so you don't have to confirm or deny. Wade McMorgan's talking about Orion Foxwood, who's a gay white hoodoo author with a New York accent that claims he was raised in the Ozarks and his mom taught him hoodoo, and he exploits gay male readers who ask him for spells and pay him thousands of dollars. Yes, yes, that is who it is. Whether you confirm or deny it, I know that's what you're talking about. When
Who was it again? I'm gonna look him up.
it's Orion Foxwood, and when it was leaked that me and Marta were moving from Central California to Los Angeles, Susan Dumbass and Orion Foxworthy drove to Los Angeles to go to all of the shops and groups around Los Angeles to trash talk me so that it would but not be accepted by the community. Unbeknownst to them, my community is worldwide and I need no local community to stay operational in any sense whatsoever. Because I learned a long time ago, man, you don't stay in a fucking small pond and you don't try and be a big fish in a small pond. You get your ass in the ocean. Unless somebody can take over the fucking ocean, they can't hold a candle to me. Oh, and they did a curse when they're driving to LA. He cursed me on Facebook.
I've seen him before.
Yeah, with that douche beard of his. And the most ridiculous fucking beard you ever seen in your life. Come on, you can say it.
It is, yes.
Come on, you're gay. Well, it's okay. It's okay to call it. It's okay that you call that beard too gay. It's all right because you're gay, so you can get away with that.
It's a fag's beard.
You said it.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say
that's
that.
Your word. No, that's your word. You can.
No,
F word.
I mean, I don't want.
I don't know if it was a male or female client, but
Oh Jesus! The stuff those F words can get away with, man.
Hey, you can't say that. No.
Yes, ridiculous beard. I wouldn't ever be caught dead with one. Attitude caffeinated. Say, hey, Auntie Marta.
hello.
Any ideas why rain is so energizing?
The ions.
Yeah, rain releases, well, lots of things in nature, but even more than most nature, moving water produces negative. That's why I'm constantly trying to tell people you need to use the language correctly because the universe knows what the words mean and does not care if you use them incorrect. Somebody's having a hard time and you say you're going to send them positive energy. Positive energy causes depression and disease. Negative energy, that comes from negative ions, cures depression and disease. It's everything that we need, and moving water is the most negative ions. Recently, science has discovered that burning frankincense resin releases negative ions, doing all of those same things and getting rid of demons and stuff too. Hey, Temple.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab something to drink.
Hey, Temple within Oh, LSC. Within LSC. Temple Within. Oh, got it. Hey, how are you? Arcane Magic Shop says hi to Aunt Marta, too. Rainwater is an amazing conditioner for the hair. Yes, yes. Over on
I did not know
YouTube.
that.
All right, just seeing if I missed anything. Doesn't look like I have. Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans on Instagram and YouTube today. Talking with folk about magic and shit.
Yeah, I've also been wondering what happened to you guys' shop. I had it got taken down. So, like, is there a reason?
Boyfriend and girlfriend stuff over there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something else. I kind of was hoping they were gonna get back open because they were doing really, they were doing well. But I'm gonna have to form a business relationship with somebody else and open a new shop because people want my shit. Still everybody's going, where am I gonna get my triple X oil? I don't know. Nobody else fucking makes it.
I still have some of their candles. I have a candle, and I think a love candle, and I got that bleeding skull candle.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for someone to piss me off enough to use that.
I remember. I think it was on Facebook. Somebody was accusing a friend of mine of stealing her idea for the bleeding skull candle, and I said, "Bitch, you think you own this bleeding skull candle? You better come up with that 20 fucking years ago, because I did when I opened my shop and started making fucking candles. You make a red candle, red skull candle, and you dip it in black and dip it in black and dip it in black till you have a nice fucking shell. And then when you burn it and the red starts coming down, it looks like it's fucking bleeding. I invented the fucking bleeding skull candle, bitch. You owe me $1."
Maybe I'll make some of those too. I'm gonna miss that when after I use it.
Hey, I do a oil that I call triple. The origins of that oil, when my mom gave me the recipe, was called "Fuck Me," and
I have some
I
of that
changed it
too.
to triple X.
I bought some of that from them too.
Mm-hmm.
Before. I'll learn how to make it, and maybe I'll start selling it on Etsy.
There you go.
Or something until I open my own store.
Don't start on. I want people on Etsy. I just don't take seriously. I don't take anybody with an Etsy store
until I get at least somewhat of a following, and then make a website.
Yeah. I don't know. I just say make a website. Etsy's, if you want to fuck around. I mean, I did Etsy, and it's like somebody would like buy a cup of cascarilla. That's $1.50. I'm going to the post office for $1.50. Are you kidding me?
Well,
You're paying for
I
that
just wouldn't
shipping?
sell
Yeah.
anything that cheap.
Well, they pay for the shipping too, but it's just.
I'm talking about why would they order one
Yeah.
cup of cascarilla?
Yeah,
and
the
pay
shipping's
for
more
all
than the fucking
shipping?
cascarilla, dumbass.
I just wouldn't sell something that cheap. Everything would be, if it was that cheap, I'd sell it in bulk.
Yeah.
Like you have to buy this many.
That's when
If
we
you want
made
it.
the herbs
Well,
a higher minimum.
the thing, if you're running a shop, and I know the Arcane Magic people, they got a shop. Thing to keep in mind, and that I teach in my classes too, there's a going rate for what you're selling. Base your price on the going rate. And if you're really confident, go a little higher than the going rate. Most people want to sell things based on the cost of the product. If you're making magical products, your costs are cents on the dollar. And if they aren't, you're fucking up. You need a wholesale buyer's license. Don't pay retail for any of that shit. Get it fucking wholesale. I was just talking to my kid. He was talking about doing something on Roblox and selling it. I said, well, you got to remember the golden rule, man. Buy low, sell high. You do not base your sales price on what you paid for it. Your goal is to constantly be getting your shit cheaper and keeping your price the same. So if the average rate for a magical oil of that size is $8.50 out there, make yours $9.50. And that actually imparts value to a thing. If somebody can get a thing too cheap, it looks cheap. Nobody wants the damn thing. And when you're, hello, Karina, when you're making magical products, you're putting in like 75 cents worth of herbs to make a gallon of fucking oil that you're gonna sell each dram of that oil for like 8.50. Um, and if you do that, you'll be okay.
I'm gonna start selling oils once I get a bit more comfortable making oils.
Yeah.
I'm not to a place where I want to start selling them yet. I don't want to send out cheap products.
Well, Wade over here is trying to come up with a bulk supplier of ambergris. Well, tell me if you find that. It's illegal. Occasionally, there was somebody in Santa Cruz I knew that had cruelty-free ambergris. It was not produced by killing the whale. It was scooped off the foam from their mating grounds. It was god-awfully expensive. Damn, it was fucking good. It was my scent for the longest time until it ran out and that guy wasn't around. Arcane Magic Shop just had the conversation. Yeah. I mean, so many people try and do that, or like they teach classes with a sliding scale. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Try and get shit cheaper than you tell people pay what you can afford. Very few people are gonna pay what they can afford. They're gonna fucking cheapen you. And if you cheapen your work is cheap. If you cheapen your work is cheap. When I first started teaching on the internet, somebody talked me into it, and I'm going, well, shit, you're not really supposed to do that, but okay, I'm gonna do that. I went, at the time, I really respected Raven Grimassi, and he was teaching a subscription course of about a year and a day. I went over and I looked at what he was charging, and it was $25 a month for his course. And he was a very well-known author and presenter, but you know what he wasn't? He wasn't a teacher. I started mine at 35. I only recently raised it to 40, but I started mine higher than a famous person because he's not a teacher, he's an author. I am a teacher of witchcraft who has yet to author something. As a matter of fact, probably the first thing I'm going to author is that course that you're taking right now. Somebody transcribed it, and that'll probably be the first book that I put out, is that transcription of the class. Because I'm not a writer, I'm a talker. I needed somebody just to write down everything that I fucking said. And that'll be the book.
My dog wants to be part of the conversation too.
Oh, you're talking about synthetic amber. Is that a dog? He's blurry.
It is a dog.
Oh, I saw the
Best
teeth.
doggle.
I saw the teeth. You're kind of cartoonish right now.
There. Is it? Ow! What the? I need to trim your nails, apparently. Bam.
Oh, okay, I saw him. Hey, puppy. Wait, hold on a sec.
You're about to get beat up, dog. I don't know what you're doing. My dog is better than all of your dogs. I'm gonna say that right now.
All right.
To all the
What?
out there.
Okay, look at your dog for a second. Let me see if he reacts.
Hey, it's a she.
Is she having a reaction to this?
Ow! No, stop it. She's attacking me.
I think it was this. We've got a very problematic puppy who likes to bark at nothing, and I got this sonic thing that only dogs can hear. It's like a remote control for my dog. And when I go like this, sometimes it works. Anybody's dog's freaking out right now? I don't know if it transfers to the internet. But Mojo's over here going, what? I'm not doing shit, dude. What are you doing? Couldn't agree more about being a talker, not a writer. Alex definitely more on point with writing than I am. So we balance each other out well in a way. Yeah, I think the time of pagan authors being the big name pagans is coming to an end. There's not enough of you kids reading books anymore. And you know what?
I wrote books.
Authors don't make a whole lot of money. A lot of my best friends are authors, and I talk to them about what they're making off of, a book sale, and it's not worth getting out of bed to collect that shit.
It's because of these idiots who keep pirating occult books.
Yeah.
Don't knock over my drink, dog. That really pisses me off too, because it's already not a lot of money to be making books, and then you have people like just going online and getting it for free.
Huh. Well, like, you know,
and then defending the position, like, oh, I want to read the books, but I don't want to pay for it. Well, then you don't get to fucking read it.
yeah. We're like, you know, I'll publish a class on Gumroad. Let's say it's like $40. You get $39.25 off of that. Gumroad's getting that small percentage. With an author, it's totally the opposite. The author's getting the small percentage, and the publisher's getting the majority of that fucking money. Unless you self-publish, and nobody's gonna really see your book much if you self-publish anyway.
I know. I don't know if you heard about the whole Dat Darling situation, but her publisher dropped her just recently.
No, I don't know that one. I heard the official Red Witch on TikTok has a book, and everybody says she just copy and pasted a bunch of spells from Pinterest into her book.
I could believe it, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
I could believe that.
Pirating.
I haven't read it, so I'm not going to say if it's true, but I could definitely believe someone would do that.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of these witchcraft books you find now is like the most basic, dumb spells. Yeah. And I can see why TikTok witches don't know what they're talking about when they're reading shit like this.
Yeah. Wade Morgan says that pirating occult books is huge in Russia. A lot of my author friends have had their books picked up in Russia in recent years. And I know there's, you know, a revival of Slavic paganism and that kind of stuff, and people are finally learning about the paganism of their ancestors in a place where they haven't been able to learn for a very long time. But
I like Slavic witchcraft.
Yeah.
I have two by one person, just called Slavic witchcraft, and then the other one's called Russian black magic.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's some really fucked up spells in the.
Yeah, Marta has those, both of those. Well, and I forget which one it was, but she was reading from it, and I was reading over her shoulder. She was telling me some shit, and like they were making a mojo bag. And then I looked at how they.
I remember one.
Yeah, and then I looked.
When you guys bought that book, I recommended it on one of the live streams once.
That might have been it. Yeah. But they were making a mojo bag, and the components and the number of components that they used was equivalent to how you would make a mojo bag in hoodoo. One of the only real difference that I saw in the configuration of that was the use of fruit. There were like little cut up pieces of apple and stuff in there, and then some of the herbs they used, like strawberry leaf. They were using it for love, and that's what we would use strawberry leaf over here for too. So it was just another one of those moments of a cultural similarity, of a culture we haven't known anything about their magic for a very long time. Marta's reading it, and immediately I'm seeing it.
See, that's what I was talking about when I was saying there's some rituals I do that's stemmed from hoodoo, like mojo bags I've been doing for a while. I didn't know they were hoodoo until pretty recently. I saw a video by the Hex Education, or the shop, I think, actually, in Salem, where they were teaching how to make a mojo bag.
Mm-hmm.
It was the New Orleans Hex, actually. But anyways, they were teaching how to make a new mojo bag, and in the comments, this person was going off about how mojo bags are closed to practice. It's funny.
Well, that's the thing. You know, you got your
but I forgot.
You got your mojo bag, you got your greedy bag, you got your sachet.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're calling it in Russia. I don't know if they have a specific name for those, but if you look at how those four are constructed, it's the same rules that apply. Typically, most mojo bags are using an odd number of ingredients. I think, and I know why that is, but I think the reason that is a lack of study or a disconnect. Because what we learn is it's an odd number for an active and an even number for a receptive. So if I, like, let's say money, and I want it to bring money to me, I'm going to use an even number of ingredients in that thing. Most classical hoodoo that I've seen is always using the odd number of ingredients. And when I ask somebody about it, it says because it's to activate it. And so I'm going, okay, so you got the active, but you don't have the receptive. So we seem to be coming from similar schools here, but somebody missed a class. No offense. Agrippa, how the hell are you? Love your books. Your book. Let's see.
I see a lot of occultists nowadays. People are trying to cancel them, and I want to make a video about it, like how you're not going to be able to cancel an occultist. Like they've always been, like that's always been the majority, is to cancel people who talk about magic and this stuff. So just because other witches are doing it, it's not going to be effective.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as it's always been. Even if like this person is hella problematic, canceling them isn't gonna actually do anything.
Yeah.
Except give them more attention.
So I got a good question over here on YouTube that I got to address from Dragon Rue. Hello, Uncle Birch. What can be substituted for parchment paper? That's a great question because parchment paper, as used in magic, is called virgin parchment paper. Why they call it virgin parchment paper is the first use of that paper. That paper has never had another idea scrawled on it before. Now, in these days, in this day and age, witches can't be the only people that aren't recycling and using first run paper for everything, especially when we're spending a lot of time worshiping trees and shit. That's bad form. So cleanse the shit. Do like you would consecrate it. You cleanse it, taking away all of the old energies that were in the paper, and then the consecrating is dedicating it to its new purpose. Cleanse your paper. And then you use recycled paper, anything else, but we can't be the only people still using fucking parchment, man. That's ridiculous.
How do you feel about people who say that you shouldn't bury spell jars?
I don't bury spell jars. I burn them. We used to live across the street from the beach where there was fire pits everywhere. And anything I needed to burn, even glass candles, I stick them in a going fire pit right around the time that the rangers kick everybody off the beach and they leave a big bonfire going. You put it in there, it's just going to burn up. And when it burns up, it's eventually going to get crushed and become sand again and go back to what it was before. So I personally would burn the spell jar. Now I have taught the Four Thieves vinegar, where you throw the bottle into a running river. Still a good spell, but we're littering. We're littering rivers. So probably not a good idea. Making paper would be a great way to magic. Yes, making paper, absolutely. I've done that before. Good idea, Wade. YouTube, what are you doing over here? I only got like 3. Let's see, even though I rarely have money for books, I always buy them. Can't stand electronic books. It feels wrong in every single way. Well, good.
Because you keep saying you really have money for books.
Probably old. Well, I would, all those years of running an occult store, about 5 or 6 times somebody would come to the occult store with somebody, a loved one or a roommate or somebody had passed on, and they left all these occult books behind. And so what are you going to do? You're going to take them to the witch store and try and sell them, right? I am so good at that, and I've been doing this for so fucking long. I can look at a huge fucking box of books and immediately see the dollar signs on top of it. The last time that happened, dude came in, I looked at it and go, okay, well, looks like some interesting stuff. It's going to take me a long time to go through all these and pick out what I want. So I'll tell you what, I'll give you $200 for the box. I'll just, if there's stuff I don't need in there, I'll get rid of them or whatever. And they'd be really happy with the $200. The book on the top of that particular one I'm talking about, the Book of Black Magic and of Pacts, leather bound. They haven't even called that book the Book of Black Magic and of Pacts for 20 years. It's only called the Book of Black Magic. But you find the Book of Black Magic and of Pacts, leather bound, $500 for that one book. When I got down the bottom of the book, it was about $5 grand. $5 grand worth of books. I just started a whole section of rare books in my shop. Fucking put price tags on them. I'm sure probably a few of them got stolen, but uh, 200, and I made 500 off the first book on the top, and then we just kept fucking going. Matter of fact, that particular batch of books, I found uh, the Teachings of the Holy Strega by Raven Grimassi from the Blue Book series. That book alone would fetch about 3 grand, but I kept it. I still have that book because I just know it's that fucking rare.
I have a couple rare books in my collection that probably worth some money. Like the Hecatean, I have one. It was like a special edition of the Hecatean that I got. I haven't read it yet, but I'm sure that book is worth something. I'm actually gonna look it up, see how much you can get on eBay for it. I'm not gonna sell it, but just want to see.
Well, there was a time in
God,
early 2000s when the OTO stopped publishing for about 5 years. The only thing the OTO owns that's worth anything is all of Crowley's books and his Thoth deck, and they just decided not to make any money for 5 fucking years. They didn't publish any Crowley. I sold off all of my Crowley and I made so much money. I was sitting on a Thoth deck that was slowly approaching $500 on eBay. And I got greedy. I waited for the price to go up a little bit more, and then they announced that they started publishing again. So it dropped back down to $25 or whatever it was. But I sold off all of my old Crowley. It's like, fuck, I haven't.
Decks and logos for hundreds
Yeah.
and hundreds of dollars.
I had, all this old Crowley. I hadn't read that since I was a kid, just sitting on the shelves. And fuck, I like money. Sell this shit. Goodness, seriously.
I'm craving deviled eggs.
Oh my god. Well, hell, dudes, it's 4:38. I've been here for a while. I was just gonna jump on here for a bit. So, sure and check me out at gumroad.com/witch school, WITCHSKEWL. I have new witch school year-to-day courses coming out every couple months. I've got one that just started in May that's still available. I have another one starting June 1st that'll be available June 1st, and then a bunch of standalone classes too. Get over there to gumroad.com/witch school, WITCHSKEWL. Check me out at Hexfest. Coming up August 12th to the 14th. You want to come to New Orleans.
I'll be there too.
He'll be here. You want to see all the crazy shit that goes on here and have the town have like twice as much witches as it usually has, taking over the whole fucking town. You want to come to that.
And only the decent witches, none of these
Yeah.
fake witches.
Yeah, I mean, none of them fluff bunnies are going to come to a thing called Hexfest. It keeps the riffraff away. So, thanks for coming, Damon. I'll see you on the other side. To remind us of the troubled times through which we came in the breadcrumb trail that our ancestors left us to follow, they had this little saying that they used to remind us of. And it went something like, merry meet, merry part, merry meet again, y'all.